I don't make the rules, man. What's going on? Schuyler Diehm here, lifestyle fat loss coach. We are in the business of helping you get in the best shape of your life through weightlifting, fasting, and mindfulness. Now, if you've been following me for a while on Instagram, you probably have noticed I am not a runner. I don't run too often, and this may be a bold statement, but I really believe that if you're trying to lose weight, running should not be part of your strategy. Now, I've helped a lot of people with their fitness and their fat loss, and running has not been part of any single person's strategy. I've had a couple clients where running is therapeutic for them and they really enjoy it, and so we include it strategically, but I've never told someone that they should go run a couple days a week to lose fat, because I don't believe you should. And if I were to break this down as simply as possible, I believe that there's 3 reasons of why running shouldn't be your strategy if you're trying to lose fat. Now, if you've been in the gym, you've probably seen some overweight people, and you probably have seen those people on a treadmill or on an elliptical running as fast as they can. And I believe this is kind of ingrained in our heads since we're children, whether it's from movies or media or things that kind of make you feel like you have to run to burn calories. But like I said, I believe there's 3 main reasons about why you really shouldn't. And again, if you love running, if it's therapeutic for you, do it a couple times a week, but don't make it your main strategy. Don't think you have to run to lose weight. The first reason why is because of cortisol. Now, cortisol is the stress hormone, and basically the more unregulated cortisol you have running through your body, the more likely it is that you're going to be storing things such as belly fat, storing fat in general. And so if we look at the world around us, it's pretty obvious that most people have a steady hit of cortisol every single day, from their social media and from dopamine, from work stress, from relationship stress, from all the stuff that's going on in the world. And so the more cortisol we have, the more adrenaline our body produces, the more likely our appetite is to be increased, and the more likely it is that it's going to be harder for us to say no to certain foods. Not only that, but then if you add on running, which will produce cortisol, if you think about this from an evolutionary standpoint, is that if we are running, our body probably thinks we're running from something. If we have high stress, we're going to be put in that state of fight or flight. And so if adrenaline goes up, cortisol goes up because we're running, and now it's not regulated because we have all these other things in our life that are creating stress, it's going to be more likely that our hunger goes up, it's going to be more likely that our body shuts down, our metabolism slows, and it's also going to be more likely to set you up for failure with more future decisions. So before we move on, I'd love to hear from you. Do you run? And if so, how often are you running right now? Leave me a comment because I'd love to hear from you. The second reason I'm not a huge fan of running for fat loss is because I believe unless you really love to run, the resistance to run is going to be so much higher than any other form of exercise. If I know I have to run for 10 plus minutes, mentally that feels like so much more effort than just showing up to the gym, right? Because the gym, I can kind of ease into it. I can hit some warm-up sets. Between my sets, I can rest. It's something that doesn't take a lot of energy and effort. Whereas if I'm going to go for a run, that feels like it's going to be massively, massively difficult for me. And if you've been following my stuff, you know that the more resistance you have to something, the less likely you're going to stay consistent with it. If you're having a stressful day, if you're tired, if you don't feel like it, putting your shoes on, getting out the door to run is going to be such a difficult task in your head that's going to take so much mental energy and effort to get there. And a lot of people just haven't built that yet. That's why I'm a firm believer in weightlifting, because you can take breaks, you can rest, you just kind of got to focus on showing up. And also walking, because walking is such low resistance. You can listen to music, podcasts, you can call people, you can multitask, and you're not going to be out of breath and uncomfortable the whole time. Third reason I'm not a fan of running for weight loss is because I believe that nutrition is a little bit more difficult to dial in when you run. On the scale of less intense exercise to more intense exercise, the more intense you get, the more likely it is your body's going to switch over from burning fat to burning carbs. And so from my personal experience and also my experience with some clients is that when they start running or when they are running or when I run, it's very difficult to match that level of nutrition with what's going to help me consistently burn fat while building muscle while also maintaining that cardio. On a personal level, I try to increase my carbs, I get a little bit more of an appetite, and I can't seem to find that. I'll find myself gaining a little bit more fat over time. And then with my clients, it's also tough because if they're eating too many carbs, they're going to gain weight. If they're not eating enough carbs, it actually has more of an impact or chance of ruining hormone levels and also creating some metabolic issues in the body. And so I'm a firm believer that when you run, it's a little bit more difficult to keep up with your nutrition and to dial that in. Whereas if you're doing low intensity exercise or weightlifting, it's pretty obvious how to balance that out with the food you eat. So if you're not a fan of running like me and you're watching this, you're probably like, thank goodness. So what do I do if I'm not going to run? What type of exercise do I do? So I'm a firm believer of 3 things if you're trying to lose fat. Number 1, walking and weightlifting. It's going to help you build muscle, which is the fat burning machinery of the cell, and the walking is going going to help you really speed up your metabolism and feel good. Number 2 is going to be focused on high quality ingredients, not counting calories, not spending more time and effort on that, but just focusing on real food. And number 3 is to fast, because if you have the real food and then you have periods where you're not eating, your body responds in an extremely powerful way. So if you're not sure where to get started with fasting, we have a faster's beginner guide. All you got to do is go down to the description to check that out. But besides that, if this video has helped you in any way, leave me a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to be notified when we release new videos. I'd love to have you as part of the community. And of course, as always, make sure to eat smart, move more, sleep deep, and be grateful for this moment. I'll see you in the next video.